Okay, all right, so, committee attendance today, we'll take attendance first. Let the record show that Ben Shampoo's here, Mary Longacre, Whitborn, Judy Deutsch on Zoom, Dave Shampoo. It's here from the DPW, Dale Gary, Shirley Blatchy, and Scott Williams. All right, item 2, acceptance of the agenda. Are we all good with that? We have a motion on that.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, next item is the approval of the minutes. Has everybody had a chance to look the minutes over? There's one item I saw, it's just change health to healthy. It's regarding the Silver Linden, and that's the only correction I could see.
So that was June 27th minutes.
Yeah.
Item 6.
Yeah.
The Y that's missing from healthy can be found in number 8, where it says Mary Ready Through, it should say Mary Read Through. So we just move that one.
Right. So that's our nitpicking for the day. All right. So we have a motion on the approval
So moved.
I move.
for May and June. Right. Okay, all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any announcements, anything, Charlie? Or got any-
Just something came across my dashboard today. I don't know if there have been any discussions about trees at the town parking lot. Is this something that is,
That has come up, but it hasn't gone anywhere.
what is it?
They're talking about redoing the parking lot,
Washington Street or Silver Street?
Washington Street.
Oh, I think this is Silver Street parking.
Oh, well, we can't do nothing yet until they finish with how they gonna run that line. Where the big elm tree was,
Yeah,
that's when they talked about cutting the corner, and I'm in disagreement with it, because I had planted the 2 trees back in
Yeah.
that spot.
okay,
So we're gonna see how much would it throw them off to run it out wide
you're right, okay,
and Cheyenne.
all right. I just curious what the,
Yeah,
That's- that's the backstory was.
two good trees in
Yeah, I
the
don't know.
parking.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, well, one, I don't wanna plant back on the hill. If I do plant, I would plant it down toward the parking lot and put a metal post in the front of it, because it's gonna get in the wires and they're gonna have to hack it back.
right,
And I don't wanna put another one in that spot. So that's why I wanted to put 2 around that corner as you go into the parking lot.
yeah,
You know,
I gotcha.
that way we wouldn't have to worry about wires.
yeah, right.
Speaking of damage that was done by the sewer construction, I've been driving by the golden rain tree at Eva Tauzig's house on Gardner Street.
Yeah.
You know, that one that's usually in flower right now, it's yellow,
On
on Gardner Street.
Gardner Street.
Yes, yeah, boy, what happened there?
It was, I pruned it back.
Yeah.
Well, they cut it back.
Yeah.
So, and that was the only choice because of where they was working at.
Yeah, right there.
To prune it.
Okay, yeah.
So it was a choice that I make the cuts on it.
Yeah.
Or they makes the cuts.
Yep,
And I didn't want.
I'd rather have you make the cut, if they had to get it out of the way.
They had to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
And even as much as I did cut it, I still limited what they wanted to do.
Yep.
So, that was done by me.
Okay. Now, let's move on to, citizen request. I got an email from, somebody that works for, West Bay, you know, for Schulich's operation, that's doing that subdivision on Old South Road.
Yeah.
They have 10 trees there. Didn't you do a plan for that?
Yeah, I looked at a plan that Jeff had, or maybe I didn't, I can't remember, but it was basically,
Maybe we
they were,
looked at it.
maybe we looked at it, or we maybe helped cite some things, or just gave some advice, but I think the initial ask was what's required by the town for for that development, if anything.
I think I located as a tree warden where I thought the tree should go on that property. Now they're talking, they don't want the trees on the it seems like they don't want the trees on the property. They want the trees along Old South Road, right?
Okay, that would be a great setup if we can get that luck and somebody to give us that many trees.
There's 10 of them and they'll plant them.
So I gotta do a site visit before we come over there, because they're right under the wires.
All right, that's
Right.
So
the
we gotta
problem.
figure out where they can go.
That's the problem.
But even though they're gonna plant them, once they plant them in town right away, then they become our trees.
Correct.
And not my trees or their trees, it's our trees as a community, because
Yeah.
now they're in town right away.
Sure. Yeah, and I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
Again, we gotta think of wires down the road.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay, well, why don't you, can you get in touch with them or, well, I got the email, but,
Okay, if you can give me some phone numbers eventually, we can look at it.
I'll give you, I think I have some.
Yeah.
I think I have it in my email. Maybe.
We'll get it to you, though. I'll get it to you.
Okay,
Okay, got an email from. Tree removal, okay, you had a question about. That when we talk about your pictures. 53 Pleasant Street was the one, never mind, we'll get to that, yeah, okay. All right, I don't have the,
okay, we'll figure it out.
I'll get you the
Yeah.
phone number.
So the big thing is site. You know.
Yep, all right, good. All right, let's go to old business. Let's see, let's discuss the tree replacement letter that's gonna be sent to Jim Wing. Is it 34 or 30? 39. It's 39 Hooper Farm Road. Right. Okay, so we've got, Charlie has got a letter in that regard. Has everybody seen?
Yes.
Taking a look at this
Yeah,
letter?
that would.
Yep, okay. I think it's pretty straightforward, and the only change I talked to Charlie about is possibly well, just changing the to their DPW tree account. Held there and provide the DPW receipt.
Or how about the towns,
Well, it's not
or the
the,
DPWs?
their DPW tree account.
Who's there? That's what I'm.
Surface
So it's
Okay.
$47.
Change it to be in parentheses, just to make it clear that that's where the money's going, because Craig is gonna handle the plant, the getting the trees, and he's gonna handle getting them in the ground. So Dale and I will supervise, and I think it's,
Why don't you say, even just make it even clearer and say, the DPW's account at serving the drinking
Yeah.
nursery.
yeah, okay, yeah, the DPW's got the circuit. Right,
That's good.
that's good, that's actually more concise. Okay, so Charlie, I guess everybody, we got a motion on acceptance of that as
Well, it's just that tree's already gone.
the tree is already gone.
Yeah, the tree's gone, they're setting up the driveway and.
The tree's gone. I let them do it because of the, you know, I let them do it. And with the assurance that we're gonna get 2 trees, so, we're gonna make them stick to that. And I think in light of the fact that Rainbow is paying 27,000 basically in outlay. I mean, that's what Rainbow's.
You gotta know what's going on with that property,
Don't know, it's still
Right.
ongoing.
still for sale, so that.
Yeah, that's what the last time it was for sale, but I think for sale by,
25,000, so
you're
he's,
selling it by owner, I think.
Okay, they didn't own it that way, did they?
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah, so they selling it, yes.
They're just selling it.
yeah, they're
They're
selling.
selling it themselves.
Okay, so that's I guess, I don't think we need to vote on this, I mean, we gotta, right?
Oh, yeah, we should memorialize that we're
Okay.
authorizing the letter to be
Okay,
sent.
all right, so we have a motion on that,
Yeah, I will move for a second.
okay?
And I will second that.
Okay, all in favor of moving ahead with the letter and sending it to Tim Ween?
Aye.
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 Good letter, Charlie. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great, Charlie, for sure. All right, let's move on to, right, let's move on to West Creek now and discuss the mitigation payment request. Now, we're gonna send this to, we're sending this to, I guess we're sending it to Karsten, correct?
Well, so the owner is Hat Creek Cattle Company. And so I thought we should list the company and Karsten and Matt, because Matt was doing a lot of the talking.
Yeah.
It appeared to be sort of in
What's
charge
the,
there.
what's the LLC?
Hat Creek Cattle Company.
Cat Creek Kettle.
And then I just looked up 39 Hooper Farm Road, and that is MDD LLC is the owner. So I'm not sure what the relationship is between the gentleman who's supposed to.
That's,
I think we can send it to Jim as he was the
Yeah.
physical person
He
here.
was the petitioner.
oh, this is.
And because this is immediate.
Cat Creek is, that's Jim Weeman's.
No, I'm sorry, I'm
Okay.
cross.
Okay, all right. We just said it, Jim Weeman.
Yeah.
That's, he's a point man. So, and was a point man at the hearing, so. All right, so we got what do we got for discussion on this? I think it's, again, it's pretty straightforward. Didn't see anything that I wanted to really change. I mean, this is what was agreed upon at the hearing.
My note was that it says can be removed after November 20th, 2022, but does not specify that it can only be removed during the winter
Okay,
season.
all right, fine. Yeah, let's make sure that
Yeah.
that's clear. November 20th to when the deal, April 1st. Okay. Of the
So
following.
it can be removed after November 20th, 2022.
April 1st is the cutoff date, let's say that.
Right, but we still have a problem with years, that's 2 years ago.
I'm gonna put in,
Only.
I'm gonna
between
keep it
years.
separate
Yeah.
because this was a specific motion
Yeah.
that was made at the select board, so I'll add in a line. At the bottom,
Can only
that
take place
the
between.
window, if you were to take the tree down, will be
Yeah.
November 1st, April 1st.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right, that's good.
So I just have a general question. What is this was sent in 22, they haven't done it, or paid. What's our recourse if they just say, we're not gonna comply? Or do we think they're going, I mean, they haven't, right?
That's why in this letter, the way I drafted is. the option
Yeah,
that-
but then what's the next step? Because why would they now comply? I mean, I just want, can we put a lien on the property, or is there something that can be done?
Fortunately not. I think it's a question of just the fine, you know.
Yeah, okay.
It's possible that.
No,
they-
you know what I'm saying? I just
I think
wanted to know.
Well, to get a building permit,
Yeah.
based on the fact that they've done this without, if they do something,
Well, if they don't give the, they haven't gotten permission to remove the tree.
right. So,
We're at that point, because it was
Right.
decided and agreed upon in the meeting, we'd have to pursue it,
yeah,
probably through legal counsel, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll either say, we're gonna pay the money, or we did, and here's the receipt.
Right.
Or that's why I asked them to write an official letter stating that
Right.
you give back all the permission, they don't wanna take it down, and then.
and the other thing that has to be stressed is the agreement is between the company that owns the property now and the town, not if the property is sold.
Right.
That should be in there too. Is
Well,
that in
we-
there?
We don't have that assurance from anyone, that's
Right.
our idea.
Right.
And, I certainly firmly believe in that, but.
Yeah.
If we don't have town council and town administration backing us up, we can't really say that.
So I would hope that while they still own the property, if they
Yeah.
rescind the
Right.
permission, the tree is now tagged, so you can't argue that you didn't know.
Yeah, if they want to take it down and they think it's gonna, that's what it's gonna cost them to
Right.
do it. Permission's already been granted, providing they provide the
Correct,
funds.
because we're
So-
asking for funds or an official letter stating that they're not going to take the tree out.
Yeah, I think that's within our purview.
Yeah.
We're working.
Okay, good. All right, so, is for any other discussion?
Just how, sorry, Dale, I'm just to follow up on this a little bit. How do we get that memorialized? Town council, I mean, I suppose it has to go through town council, right? To say agreements can't jump the sale of a property.
Well, we have to go through town admin first.
Okay.
To allow us to go through town council.
Okay.
To see what we can do,
That's,
but
that's
yeah.
pretty important. I mean, this
Yeah.
is, that's a huge value
Yeah.
to somebody, for this property.
Yeah.
And if they're coming in with a totally different design, it's,
Yeah.
you know, it's not necessary, the whole thing with this was.
Well, and the whole premise was he didn't know, and so now he knows, and so that is gone, and there's no justification for going into the project's not going forward.
Right. We can, that can be part of the protocol,
Yeah.
in here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that nothing.
Which is all that verbiage is in there.
That's it.
So before we move on, we need a motion to authorize sending this letter,
Okay,
which I will.
so, all right.
And I will second that.
Okay,
That's
all,
with the addition of the sentence we talked about.
Yes.
Yeah. all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Right.
Aye.
There, see you ahead, Shirley. Again,
Thank you, Charlie. for
great,
this.
great,
Stuff, Charlie.
excellent work.
I just wanted to say, Charlie did an awesome job on the tags. I was able to tag 100 trees this week.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes, and it's all been drafted up. These are the tags
Awesome.
that was made up.
That's great.
And so I was able to tag 100 of them.
That's
So,
that's it.
And,
They're in that process, right? The next
as-
setter or
How long
Plates
does
are
it
in a way
take-
as
How
well.
long does it take to do one?
a batch takes like 4 hours,
Batch of,
12.
well, as we speak, we have a new batch at Charlie's Chocolate Factory in the next room.
yeah,
That's busily making out some new tags.
It takes a long time to do the QR code.
So
There's a lot of little movements in
it's
there.
a QR code, if it has something yet.
QR code leads back to the tree advisory committee webpage,
Nice.
which then
I want to
be adding.
even the tags that are
tree
on
bylaws.
trees, I want these tags, because we're gonna have everything. And when I walk out the door, whoever
Yeah,
walk
it's
in,
so
you know, they
visible,
just
so-
hit a button and everything pops up.
So
Yeah,
where
that's
can we
awesome.
go see?
Good
the-
job. That's
Let's see
super
how-
cool.
Dylan's got also have
Fixing it.
this, so they can write down,
Nice.
That's one.
just track as they do it. That way, when we get to the point where we
Okay.
get, whether we have WPI students,
Good.
whoever.
Yes, that's.
We
Yeah.
don't need to send them, we can say, here you go,
I got it.
I take the GPS, machine and go find all these.
Yeah, that's a
Alright,
tough one.
that's
You have to bring your.
Yes.
Right,
You gotta know what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
That's
just
awesome.
printing some more tags as I was coming into the meeting before we started.
So, yeah, where are we
Great
trying to put
machine.
them up so we can go see?
They all over the place. We started on the, Milestone Road.
Uh-huh.
Went to Wisconsin,
Yeah.
went to Surfside, went to the school, got all the
Okay,
schools
so we
done.
did the
Well, I got
school.
some more schools.
So like you see them in the Rotary,
Sweet.
like with those
Yeah.
Delcovas on the.
Yeah, all the Delcovas was done. We started with the one big elm, all them trees have been done. The ones across from Young's Way been done. We may lose that one elm that we planted years ago that, I think is a Valley Forge. It's falling
It's the
apart.
middle one.
You put one
I
in.
thought we cut that one down.
No, that was Jeff Willett we lost and Timmy Egan. We replaced them too, but this
Okay.
past winter, that other one broke out.
Yep.
So I'm trying to figure out how to prune it to keep it, but I think it's gonna be a replant. Would probably be a tighter head of New Harmony.
Speaking of trees, I was taking a ride through Nashua the other day because I need to get away from the traffic and go that way. The trees that I think probably Bartlett spec'd all those trees. There's some really nice elms. There's two different kinds. I think one of them was Princeton, but the other one looks like it might be an Accolade, maybe. Does that have
The Accolade,
Or is it
are
a-
like the ones we planted in front of,
oh, yeah.
Great Poles.
Great Poles.
Yes,
No,
Great Poles, yes,
they're not.
yes,
No,
yes,
they're
yes.
different. The leaf is really glossy.
And I'm gonna tag them too, because they planted in town right away.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
That was per the agreement with them.
Yes, because they took down one of the poplars or something. Something was taken down there. I think it's probably been a sick honey locust or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I'm gonna put that as soon as Charlie get me re-up.
So it.
Are we replacing that honey locust at Mrs. Fisher's house?
Eventually, yes, that's, I'm trying to put on the contract.
Good, good. Are we doing a honey locust here, or are we doing something else?
I'm gonna do this, the sunburst.
Okay,
I like that one.
right. So
Like-
that'll be nice.
I like that sunburst honey locust.
For me, yeah.
You know, because the ones by the airport in the front of the hotel is all town.
Yeah, right.
So, and they're sunburst, they're nice looking.
Yeah. Airport, how about? Are you taking care of the trees in there
If
now?
I can ever get somebody to move cars for me.
Yeah.
I can get it, I've done them
Years. Yeah,
Few years
I mean,
ago.
we really need to get in there and
Yeah.
do some work. on it.
and I need to tag them as well.
Who takes care of the trees in the hospital parking lot?
That's done, Hanley, I think.
Yeah, those are really struggling.
Yeah.
Well, and they've got the mulch mounted.
Oh, God.
Well, it's what we don't know. It's like every time I drive by there.
I was up in New Hampshire.
And that's
recently.
Tom Hamlin, so he should know better.
I was
Not
up in
throwing
New
anybody
Hampshire
on the bus,
recently,
but he should know better.
and I mean, we went to a Chili's, and I get out of the car, and it's all red mulch, it's all that red ugly mulch.
Nasty.
And I mean, it was a volcanic, it
It
was,
bad.
yeah, oh, God. And all the trees were they just weren't doing, I mean, it's just
They're selling mulch.
selling mulch.
So we on a good track of getting some trees mapped out.
Yeah, that's great. That's great news.
Good. All right, let's have a look at the credit policy. Let's have a discussion of this.
You know what? Mary, do you-
Mary, you're a major contributor to this, so,
No, I couldn't have been, because I wasn't here.
no, I'm talking about the things that you added to the
Oh.
protocol.
So A through E is.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one.
Yeah, this is new. I don't know. I just finished this hot off the press.
I was looking at the, problem, you know, I can't take credit for that.
No,
So I took Rob's,
sure, why not?
Yeah.
so I took Rob's document and kind of combined it with your ideas to create a new kind of policy and guidelines. Judy, I'll get this email to you ASAP.
Okay.
But I'll walk by step. So what I'd like to do is, as far as policy wise, as soon as somebody requests a removal hearing, that either Dale or Dave go to the property, meet the owner, and get a measurement of the tree.
Yeah.
When they come to the hearing, along with, and then have them, we'll send them a document saying that they agree, that you both agree that it's a 20-inch tree or whatever the measurement is.
Yeah.
When they come to the hearing, this will allow us, through this policy, to establish a dollar value.
Yeah.
Right then and there. So they know whether they're given permission to take it down or they have to do an appeal, that this is the dollar value, and that they'll agree to basically all these terms. So Rob's, this was set back in 2018, was that for every 2-inch of tree removed, you owe the town 2.5
2.5.
of a, I think it's a New Harmony elm. So the current value of those is almost, it's $295. That's what Surfing has them in, that's their inventory.
Yeah. So
but in there, so so this policy would be signed by them, whether we grant approval or that we bring this, if Dave's at the select board, to have a copy that can be signed by him, the request of the hearing plus the select board. It just goes through kind of, if you ever read Mary's things, that the permission is tied to a particular tree in a particular project. No permission is transferable. If they change the project,
That's the important.
you gotta come back. If they adjust the project, you gotta come back. You can't, sell the property. You can't. And then it's basically, the other thing is a little bit of difference from what was proposed by Rob, is that instead of the funds being deposited directly into Surfing Hydrangea, they'll be held in an account here within the town, essentially an escrow. And so until the tree comes down, or they provide us in writing that they no longer wish to pursue removal of the tree, they'll be held in account and not spent. So if they say, oh, we're gonna sell, we're rescinding all permission, we're not gonna do it, we would then refund them back, their
And
money.
That's
And-
a point that's not necessarily clear here. We should get the payment before we have a formal admission that the tree can be removed. So the select board's decision, if it goes to them, should be contingent on receiving the payment in escrow before. if they-
Yeah, so at the end of, A, that the payment be made within 24 hours of the TAC or select board approval.
That's good, and that helps because we have it already established at the beginning. what
Right,
the
so they know, so that way, when, on the fly, we're not trying to come up with a number, they'll know what it is. So when they decide, if we grant approval here, they'll sign an agreement and then either hand us a check or come back the following day. And then, same thing with select board, if it has to go that far, everyone that night would sign this.
Yeah, and
and
then the people might decide not to go to select board because they know what it's gonna cost.
Right,
Yeah.
that also is the thing,
Yeah.
is that that way we're able to tell them
Yeah.
here, before we get to select board,
Yeah.
that it's going to cost, this is the requirement, this is what it is, and they can, mull it over
Right.
and whatever else.
That's great.
And then the other thought was, again, once either the tree comes down, or if we have the funds, would be to move it and store the funds in a tree account within our accounting software here, rather than at Serpent Hydrangea. So if we had to, like, for the beach leaf disease, we wanted to use those funds to combat that. It allows the tree community more versatile with how those funds are expended.
Yeah.
Same thing, if you need to go buy trees, just bring the invoice and we'll write the PO against that account. But
Yeah.
it's just having it here, there's more flexibility than having it sitting at.
Well,
So
and
surfing.
if something happens at Surfing Hydrangea.
Well,
they have
that
the
too, if they,
business,
for some
it goes
reason,
down, yeah.
they just change, but it can be used for other things, if-
Lose their lease there and there. That's the end of that.
So it just allows, protects the funds, and it can be used for, however the committee or if you need something on the truck or something like that. That's what it's there for.
Okay, all right, so, this is gonna be sent to Drew, to be sent to, what's the,
Yeah, I have to ask on that, like, I don't know if when Rob did it, that was it.
Well, but he's department head, we're an advisory committee.
Yeah, I was just, this was sent to Drew. And
okay,
his-
so, but we approve of this, so I think we need a vote on that,
Yeah.
correct? So, we have a motion on approving the policy and guidelines as written with the, I don't think we're tweaking this at
Yeah,
all.
no, it looks good.
Yeah, so,
I'll make a motion to approve.
okay, second,
I'll second that.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Get it on official letterhead and on Drew's desk.
Awesome. That's really good, Charlie.
Speaking of Drew, there was, he asked me to take a look at he thought it was an elm on Pleasant Street. It's actually a big, I think it's a big American linden. This guy wanted to have Dale take off this big lead around the thing. I mean, the tree kind of at a low spot, and Dale will have to come and explain, but Dale said, no way, I'm gonna do it. And this is what Drew was telling him last time I saw him, but it would ruin the tree if you took off this whole thing, so you could pass that on.
Sure.
Pass that along to him. That's a no-go. And I talked to this man.
Speaking of that tree, when we come to the African meeting house, they took a great big limb there and then ripped the bark off. I guess
When did that happen?
I don't know, it's been there for a little while, I
But
just.
it's not a town tree though, there.
No, but somebody was in there that probably didn't do proper arborist practices. But yeah, you see it as you drive by, and there's a whole section of bark that got pulled off when they took this main limb. It's a low tree, but it's.
Anyway, okay, good, all right. Anything on the GIS mapping, anything?
Nothing yet, just, the first part is, Dale's got to get the first 100 tags out,
Well, what about all the data that we have to go through?
that we have, Will has it.
Yeah.
We do have access to it.
Now, the tags we're putting on the trees, will that help aid no, not, you really have to. Don't
So,
tell
well,
them
so Dale's kind of been filling out this
that- Okay,
sheet as well, so for every tag, they're giving us the type of tree, its condition, and then an address. And so
and he's
then,
doing that as he puts. them-
as I put them up, and so that way we'll have
Yeah.
a physical record here, and then when we get the GIS, you know, and GPS monitoring stuff, we can send them out with this list, and then we won't have to burden, Scott with going back to all these
That's
locations.
my point. Will already went out with a GPS device. It's got 80% of the data that we're looking for. And I don't understand why we would be doing it. Trees aren't moving.
That, well, no, so that data, it's the others, we have the JS and the capture data that was gonna go out. Will be all the, so they grab town, some of the airport and some Wisconsin, but there's still the Cooper Farm and all the in-between and see all the GIS.
Okay, so we're only adding to that.
Yes, we're adding.
Doing it all over again.
Yeah, so yeah, there will be some, in some places trees have been removed. There is, as part of what the grant funding that Vince is acquiring, is not only to do this, but also to develop a succession plan for trees in town, we lost that big elm, on Silver Street. There's a lot of big elms that, we lost the one on Center Street a couple years ago. We got really lucky that it landed in the middle of the road and not on anything.
And I want to plant back on that corner too.
Yeah, so part of that grant is developing a succession plan for everything downtown. There are some missing on the corner of Oak Street and South Water. There's there's a hole there where there may have been a tree when that original mapping happened. So we'll have to be some overlap. Fortunately, downtown should be pretty quick because they're all, there's no guessing. It is a town tree. They should be able to grab that and be able to scroll through the data. They should be able to load it up and then go, drive by. Okay, yep, it's still there. Yep, it's nope, missing one.
I've already got you started.
Yeah.
In that neighborhood, that Pleasant Street tree that we lost there, down by DeMarcos, there's some dead wood way up top there, but.
Where's
this? What's that?
Where's this?
The old DeMarcos, what's the new restaurant? What's the new name now?
Proprietors?
Thank you, proprietors.
Yeah, they were just talking about that.
Down by the corner.
This is down just a little bit. We lost the one in the corner.
Yeah.
This is just down a little bit.
Oh, that big elm up front, yeah. That's
Proprietors.
on the,
The trees look better than they most years.
Speaking of that, the elms that you cut back in front of Murray's have really come
They're
back.
already here.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
and we was talking about taking them down.
I know. They have, I guess they got scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, Main Street looks great.
All right. Okay, so,
Sorry, yes. I had it muted. Okay.
okay. Anything on stump grinding? Anything?
No, that's still out the contract.
There were some more issues as of Tuesday that they're sorting through. One of the
What was the issue? Was it?
the company did some stuff with the prevailing wage number. And so they said no. And so that's getting worked out.
Okay.
Hopefully they can sort it out and not have to do the whole process over
So it's
again.
been pushed back again.
Hopefully they're just gonna sort it out without having to put the whole,
Because again, there are some areas that, my truck would reach most places, but because how big my truck is, I can't get on the backside of wires to do things. So we need to get this contract going so I can get some trees lined up to get help with. To bring them back so people will start to complain about.
yeah, I don't think it's for lack of trying, it's just that
Yeah.
the people who've been submitting the bids have either been missing items or documents or not complying with the rules.
Okay,
So hopefully they know, we talked about it on Tuesday.
okay.
Right, the stump grinding is important. You gotta get, those are great locations. for trees, so.
There's another spot I've noticed, I believe it's 23 Pleasant. That low house, there used to be a nice crab apple in the corner there. It's an open yard.
Corner of South Middle.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yes, there used to be 4 trees there, and in my
Before you.
lifetime, I've watched them.
Barrett there, what's his name?
There were fruit trees, there was a plum, there was
23
an apple, there was
The corner of South Mill, across from Sand Hill Shop, they opened there, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
There.
yeah, Bartlett's.
Yes, Bartlett's, yes.
Yeah,
what was-
Bernie,
The daughter,
Bernie.
back in the day.
the daughter owned them, so we would have to see if she's willing to let us plant trees back in the yard.
Well,
Yeah, it'd be a great location.
it's like they're getting it ready for sale, you know, so I don't know if they'd wanna have. That might, well, try. All right, before we get to beach disease, and new business, I wanted to, commend Mary for her pictorial, tour, elm tour. I mean, it's, it was a trip down memory lane. It also prompted me to, the bus stop. Here's, the bus stop at 114 Pleasant. I believe there's no elms there. Those are Zelkovas, correct? Dale,
Yeah.
that they planted
By the bank?
by the new bank.
Yes,
You know-
they're covers.
Those are Zelkovas.
Yes.
So that.
They're
those
not
are
elm trees though.
They are elm trees?
No, they belong to the town, which they took down the elm in replacement.
Oh, okay, the elm that was there.
Yes, it was a big, beautiful elm right in, and they took it down and replaced the Zelkovas. Okay. And they're my town trees.
Okay.
Yeah, when it was a little post office.
Yes.
And there was also the, you know, oh, good, you can
Yeah.
bring that up, that's great.
Sorry, I'm scrolling, I hope that's not.
Those are great.
This is a 144 bus stop.
Yeah, those are,
Them was given back to us in return for the elm that was removed.
okay. Forgot that there was an elm there. There was
Yes.
also the big ash that was in front of the old post office too.
Yes,
That we planted,
Yes.
years ago.
so they got lost, so this is the replacement to the elm tree.
Yep.
And then they put tags on it.
Okay, all right, good. So those are protected trees.
Yes,
They're
they're,
doing well.
But they're not 1996 elms.
They are not.
Okay,
They are not.
well, I wanted to build this out even more with.
Right, well, I got some notes. All right, not there anymore. High school pool,
Yes,
that's a hybrid elm. Okay, where did that come from, Dale?
which one?
This one that got transplanted by the pool, Roger?
Roger transplanted that.
Right.
I just found it this past winter, it's a really healthy tree.
Yep, oh yeah, no, it's doing well. That was on Upper Main Street, wasn't it,
Yeah.
someplace?
That's a really healthy elm.
Okay, but that's a hybrid elm.
That's a hybrid, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not American.
yeah, that was like that could have been a homestead or something that we planted during the tree program.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are those, what's the variety of, are they oaks on the other side as you're coming down in front of the school?
No, those are elms that.
In the front of the school?
That Nick Ferrantella planted in
Yeah,
front of,
right.
the
They're
old.
all elms. As
Are
a
they?
matter of fact, I even called Roger the other day to try to find out what I do
Those
know.
are really nice.
I
like
do
they're-
know they're crossed with some version of Asian. That's all I can tell
Okay,
you about it.
yeah, I never really could
I can,
close enough to know what they were.
yeah, I do know they cross with Asian. I do know that.
They haven't gotten awfully big.
I know, that's what,
Yeah,
they're
which is-
really, really
It's almost like
tight
they're
and they're
more,
really,
some kind of.
really,
dwarf.
it looks, they're stout, they're
They're nice trees.
real nice.
Nice,
trees.
nice trees. Have that. Matter of fact, I put tag on all them.
Yeah, okay.
They all got tag on.
And Ben and I were talking about all the trees that are planted, you know, like those Washingtons and the Princetons that are by the ball field between the elementary and.
And the ball field, yes, I just pruned them a couple of years
And
ago.
the high school, the school department had us plant. That wasn't part of the tree planting.
yeah,
Yeah, but
that's,
they-
I mean, there's a lot of trees around the school
Right.
that I was pretty sure we planted as town trees, but they.
But they all
also
town
said They
trees.
weren't 1996.
No,
And-
they are not,
And the tree planted
And
on
they're on
town
that.
property
Yeah.
become a
as
town
far as I
tree.
know, so.
Yeah, so this was the only one I wasn't sure about.
Okay, 3 Hooper Farm Road, one of those is an ash, that's George, I believe that's George, Resendi's house. One of those is an ash.
Okay.
There's that, yep,
There's an ash and there's the elm right there.
yep.
Tell me
See,
left or right.
Ash on all that.
Left is an ash. And,
And I can crop the photo to make it
Yep.
clearer. Yeah.
and you have the elms that are by, on Surfside Road by, what's the one that goes to Hooper Farm? What's it?
Surfside Drive.
Surfside
Yes.
Drive,
By the water fountain there.
between,
So it's.
where Manny Diaz was, and, is that's B Santos, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thrown that
That's,
up.
And then I have the other one at the water.
And you got the one that's in back of the.
That's the one by the water fountain.
How about the one that's in, if you go back to B's house again, you'll see a Zelkova hedge that's next door. Not a Zelkova hedge, but a
Wayland.
Leland hedge.
There's
There's-
one
there's
behind it.
One behind it, that's there. So you can see it from the road, but it's really disguised in there.
Yeah, if anything was far further back, I was like, I don't know if that's ours or not.
Yes, but that's definitely,
Yes.
do you have a
that-
tag in that yet, or?
No, I'm tagging.
And
it,
that-
but
that's
as soon
a
as
96
I get more.
Okay.
All right, 55 Hooper Farm Road. That's that one. Ernie Oliver planted that tree. That's an elm, but corner of Quail Lane or whatever.
Yeah.
We planted a linden tree with that tree program that's just down from that. He planted that tree,
Okay.
so that's not it. Now, there's 2 elms, those 2 elms that Roger had transplanted from that place on.
Eric
Warren
Red
Street,
planted by the,
That Eric the Red transplanted
by the windmill.
by the windmill. There's a house that if you go down towards Sam Hill's old office, which is now Sweden's. There's a place on the left with kind of concrete stairs that go up to this big house that's right up on the hill, sort of, it's behind the
Not this
windmill.
one.
Yeah, by Leckery's up there.
Yeah, but it's going down the
Oh,
hill,
going down the-
going down the hill, big, I looked at them.
They look good.
They look real good.
Yeah, but Eric Red sold them people. He sold them to them.
Oh.
He got them from Roger somehow, and he sold them.
Yeah, Roger made a deal with him, and I was pissed about it too at the time, because that guy was, and
Let it rest.
What's that?
Yeah, let it rest.
Yeah, okay, all right. I'm talking about Roger. He should have never allowed
No,
that. Really pissed me.
I agree
So
with you.
who should they belong on this?
No, they're not ours. They named 6 trees, but they're no longer ours. Because Roger made a deal with Eric the Red, and Eric the Red sold them 2 trees.
Where did they come from?
They come from tree planting
No, but
program.
what address?
I could find out. There's an arborvitae hedge. It's down from where the bake shop was, going towards Cumberland's, on the right-hand side as you're going out of town.
Oh,
And
so
then-
there's a big yard there that where we had 2 tree planting locations and there's no trees there.
That's the
That's
one.
where they came. Okay.
Yep.
I wondered about that, because now
That's-
that house is stripped down,
Right, right.
renovated, and,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, this guy wanted an arborvitae head. I said, under no circumstances, you're not gonna move those trees. And all of a sudden, Roger gave him permission to do it, so.
Yeah,
Well, I
then
would go back to whoever the new owner turns out to be. Hey, this is a great place for some young trees.
Yeah,
Put
there
this up
you go.
here.
We
Yeah,
have a
but they put
history.
in Leland in there, I think, and that lasted for a while. They went crazy, then they got changed out.
No, you're thinking of something, someplace else. It's that those arborvitae's, Eric the Red sold them the arborvitae's too. I think probably, yeah, but. So anyway, that's all the history I can think of on what you've done. It's really great.
Can I interject? If we're gonna acknowledge, they just had the service for Ken Bogart last weekend, and he gave us some help over the years.
Yep.
So we ought to acknowledge that. I think he was a very nice guy.
Sounds great guy.
Yeah, Ken, yeah.
Yeah, he was. He was a real help in it. Yeah. I mean, but
If I can just mention something about aesthetics, back in the day, there used to be some beautiful Scotch broom around the perimeter along the streets there, up by the mill. And then they just clear cut everything up there. There was some cedars and everything up.
The Scotch broom is now an
There's,
was it
invasive
invasive?
species on
Yeah.
the state's
Okay.
list. We're not gonna be able to get
Okay.
it back, but
you-
I feel your pain.
It looked a lot better up
Yeah.
there than it's done for years. And I talked to one of the guys that run the mill and, oh, it's all about the wind and, you know, the aerodynamics.
And Broome doesn't have, even still, Broome does not have a long lifespan, you know.
But, you know, be nice to see something up there
It'd be nice if we took better
aesthetically.
care of the property.
Yeah, I mean, the mill is.
Well, it's on, that's on the list of some construction, which
It's a
maybe.
big
we'll do-
renovation
Yeah.
coming
do
up
some-
with the
do some
mill.
things, and I can talk to them guys.
But it'd be nice to see some sort of planting up there, just so it's not scorched earth and we have these summer droughts that luckily we're not having this summer.
Yeah, it's lush out there this summer.
It's been great.
Okay, let's move along to new business, beach leaf disease.
It is out at Reyes property,
We know that.
It's at Reyes.
yes.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I think you did tell me that. I was out there the other day in that Cover Beach or in the American Beach.
American
right,
Beach,
right at the
European
beginning.
Beach or whatever. it was.
Yeah, the one right at the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, the
Is
top
it
is totally
American
yellow.
Beach out there? What's the
Uh,
American
Maybe
Beach?
it's in a European beach.
No,
European Beach.
they're both European beaches though. There's no American beaches in that property unless they're hidden somewhere.
I thought that was American Beaches.
That's European.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Was that planted? Must have been.
It was planted by whoever owned the property years
Yeah.
ago, but
But it doesn't really matter because
Yeah.
the beach disease affects both the American and the European,
Yeah.
so
What's the prognosis there?
it's not good. Bartlett,
it's treatable.
it's treatable. Now, are you in on the?
I'm just trying to get, I emailed it to Drew so he can look at the proposal. The good thing is it's way beyond that cap, where we have to go to contracts.
You're
Well,
talking about
what-
hiring Bartlett to do it.
Yes.
What's the town's involvement? Isn't that land bank property?
That is land bank
Yeah.
property, but the town does, we have, let's see, I counted like 3 American beaches in town.
Um,
How about the one at the? and-
one at the rectory,
One at the rectory, yep.
How about
There's
the
one
at
in
the
front
bus
of.
stop?
the old paint shop there.
But the turn in, or those beaches, right across from like, Tom Evers, or maybe down a little bit as you're pulling in.
Oh, yeah, well, we'll get to those.
Okay.
I want to do the American beaches in town. In front of, like, what's the?
The paint shop.
Yeah, what used to be.
Hardee's.
Hardee's, yeah, Hardy, what used to be Hardee's.
Yeah.
Yep, and then there's another one that I saw on Center Street.
There's a new one on Center Street.
No, it's not, there might be a new one, but there's also a one, I think it's just before if you're coming up Center Street, I'm talking about Center with an R-E,
Yeah.
coming up that way from, there's one on the left, I think it's one on the left-hand side, before you get to the J.C. house.
In that yard, in
Or
that
is it
big
in
open yard.
Zelkova? Maybe I'm thinking of, maybe
There's a
it looked
huge
like-
linden.
I have not seen a beach in that
you
area.
should, okay.
First time, every time I do this.
Oh, posting.
I
Oh, meeting.
logging on. Zoom too. Have a good night.
Judy, can you hear us?
I just got you back. What happened? I lost you. I'm trying to sign on with my iPad to see if I can pick you up. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. On my computer, we can hear you, but we can't connect through the DPW's computer.
Okay.
So I still have a recording going, Charlie?
Okay.
We'll
Oh,
take
there
it.
you're back.
Okay.
You just came
Okay.
back.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I must have been made host when you did the screen share.
It happened.
Okay, good. It's almost ground control to Major Tom. Where are you?
But I
You
think I
suddenly went away and there was something totally different. Oh, well.
Okay, getting back to beach leaf disease, and then we'll do 53. All right. Then we've got the beaches. That's a problem, the beaches on the Milestone Road.
Yes,
Because the property does not belong to the town, right?
yes, but they're town trees.
They're down trees, okay.
They are town owned. I've pruned them for, Roger pruned them and I pruned them.
Okay,
They are town owned and they are tagged.
okay, fine. So we can,
Matter of fact, that was part of my planting.
they were,
Yes.
I planted, so
Yes.
I know, but we always, when we planted them, it was, nobody knew it was just a parking area along.
Yeah, we,
Milestone.
well, the land, I mean, they didn't own the I don't know who owned the property when you guys planted, but I don't think.
Conservation Foundation.
Did they own it at the time?
Yeah.
Well, they are our trees.
Let's proceed in that regard.
Yes.
So the upshot is the tree that is diseased on the Reds property is a town tree.
No,
It's a land bank tree.
it's a land bank tree.
It is a town tree.
It's a town tree, but land bank covered their own.
They're paying. for it.
So we're facilitating treatment of their tree at their expense.
They've already contacted Bartlett to do.
Okay,
well.
so we're not
We're
involved.
not, we're not involved. It's just that this is an incident. And it's
So
been found.
we're aware of it because
Yeah,
it's
and
dangerous.
the real problem is it's affecting the beaches in the forest. And there's considerable, not that, it's not an over abundant species, but it will make a real hole in the forest, when it happens. Like, for instance, like if you've ever gone into the hidden forest, that one that's carved up with,
But that's a beautiful beach.
and that, that's in jeopardy. That's on private
I'm
property.
hoping there's off
As-
the
as a
beaten path.
matter, hopefully, either the land bank buys that property or whatever. It might be some negotiations in that regard. Hopefully there is.
Is it conservation land now or?
Well, no, it's privately held, by, trying to remember his name. He died, he lived, later in life in Hawaii, and he didn't come here, very seldom. Anyway, it's a problem. But apparently it's a controlled problem with the protocol. that-
Treatment, yes.
Yeah, they spray.
Or inject, or root flare injection.
Yeah.
Depending on the size.
And they do it like they would Arbortec with Dutch elm disease,
Yeah.
so I guess it's quite effective. But I mean, the nematodes that get into the leaf, it's a very tiny, almost microscopic insect that actually spreads itself by wind. It's like spores that go out, it just gets spread around that way.
So that's really.
It's not a good sign.
Been a windy year too.
Yeah, well, it's all. All right, so anyway, that's the update on that. It's controllable, but probably not enough. It's not something that's probably in a native area that I know the foundation is not interested in, to look for other methods to control it as it comes up. So we'll see. Okay, Mary, you had a question about 53 Pleasant.
Yeah,
Uh,
so when I was looking for the 1992 balance and trying to share my screen. So this is a 2019 Google Maps photo. And then
That's
This
Pleasant
is-
Street.
Yeah.
That street
Pleasant
has
Street,
been,
53 Pleasant. This
that's
is what,
been removed.
so my question, and just out of not knowing the answer, was it the 1996 album?
Yes,
planted
yes,
there?
yes, yes.
Was there a hearing that we allowed removal?
We did need a hearing because the liability outweighed time,
Okay,
to remove that tree. So.
Yeah, big
so it was
split.
an issue.
It was an issue, yeah.
It's split
That's
right
all I
down
needed
to,
to know.
yeah.
Yeah.
so,
But it's good that it's on record that's why.
yeah.
It's always good to know why.
So
Yeah.
I always go back to the word that Dave taught me, liability asset. And I live by that word, them words when it comes to trees. Because I mean, them probably the most vital words that probably boosted my tree career. Liability asset, what is it?
I'm an accountant, yeah.
When it-
I know what you're
If
talking
it-
about.
Is, now, Charlie will appreciate this because I first heard that term when I was at Stockbridge back in the 60s. And Gordon King was the arboriculture professor there. Is it an asset or a liability? He was from Michigan.
So,
And and that every single lecture, that was interspersed with what he had to say.
but out of all the things that I've learned in the tree trade, that has stood out probably on top of my head.
Yeah.
And that's how I explain to people when I talk to people about trees on their farm. You always look at what it is a liability or is it not? You know what I mean? So, and that tree outweighed any meeting as far as the damage it could have done if it come apart.
So, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Did it just get too big?
They're just poor structure. Them particular prisms are very poor structure. It's nothing we can do about it. And if we start getting into cabling, then we raise our liability aspect because we have admitted there is something wrong because in nature, they don't grow bolts. So we have to make a decision whether like the one at 96 one at Cape Cod Bank, isn't it? Nantucket Bank.
Yeah.
I had to remove that same deal, split right down the middle.
So was that a 96?
96, yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
And then at Nantucket Bank,
And Orange Street or Pleasant Street?
on
Pleasant Street.
Pleasant Street,
Yeah.
Pleasant Street.
Okay.
And one was removed by B Santos to do the cottage out back for her granddaughter. There was two on that property.
Okay.
Oh, and I got it, I'm just thinking of another one. Remember Leslie Lindley? Tried to remove those elms that are on her property. She wanted to build a
Yeah.
cottage in front. There's one there. You know where Leslie lives, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's,
one of those is. a
one of those
96
is,
L.
yeah, is a 96 elm.
So,
Yeah, that we were, was it that property with Arthur Reed a few years ago?
Correct. I don't know if that was Arthur Reed. It was-
and I'll go around and
Yeah, maybe it was.
make a list of all the 96 elms and get it to you.
Well, that's what I already have. And
Okay.
so I'm gonna give mine this to you and then you can fix whatever's wrong. But
Yeah, yeah.
These are some of the things that I was noticing that
Yeah.
we had sites with it, but there's no tree there.
Well, didn't go forward. with
No,
that project.
no, they actually made, I think they changed something there that made it work for her. With the
No, I
existing
didn't
house.
realize that was her problem, you
Yeah.
know, that was her job there.
Yeah.
so.
Well, she was selling the whole property and wanted to split it.
Right.
There's really, my
Yeah, then
opinion,
John
all that,
passed
there was
away.
no room for another.
It wasn't.
I have to step into a Parks and Rec meeting.
All right, I think we're good. I think we're good.
Want to call adjournment?
Yep, we have a motion.
And Dale, think about the trees still on your list?
That's on my list. It's not a removal.
Not, yeah, we'll
I'm just gonna take the top out of it.
take the deadwood out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait to traffic by August 15th. I think I can get in there
Yeah.
and not mess up things too bad.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Okay,
Motion
good.
to adjourn.
Okay, second,
Second.
okay, all in favor.
Aye.
Okay, guys.
See you next time.
Nice